60 days, exactly 2 months later, you'll get 3 hours, which will decide the direction of your career. Hello and welcome to Biotecnika. My name is Shekhar Suman and I welcome all of you to this joint session where all our experts are coming live to guide you on the next 60 days of strategy. All right. So welcome everybody, and let's quickly check if you are able to hear me and see me as well. Good evening, Jasmine, Yatin, Srividya, and everybody out there. Welcome to the session. It's immense pleasure and privilege to be addressing all of you this evening. Now, today I am so elated to inform all of you that we have achieved amazing results so far in our admissions for the fast track revision batch, and we are very soon going to close the admissions. But in the meanwhile, I wanted to thank each one of you for joining Biotecnika as a subscriber, as a student, and as a follower, because each person out there has supported us and made us what we are today. So today we are here to give back to the community, to give back to all of you with some insights, some intellectual thoughts, wisdom, strategy, and technology. Now, you all should know this, that Biotecnika, 17 years, we have done a lot of research on how to make things simpler just for you. We started training students for coaching for CSIR NET when there were subjective papers. There was two papers, paper 1 and paper 2, where paper 2 used to be subjective and paper 1 used to be objective. From that era till today, we have seen how the difficulty levels of questions has changed. All that pattern, all the way throughout 2023, from 2006, we have seen it all. And today our experts are going to put it in front of you, and of course there'll be a lot of Q&A sessions, a lot of questions which we are going to take up and answer. But before we get started, I have a question for all of you, and that is, do you think success demands stress? Tell me, what does success demand? Does it demand stress? Anybody in the chat box, quickly. What does it demand? Success demands strategy, technology, and effort. And today, we are here to share all the three with you. We're going to share how our efforts in the right direction can lead to success. We're also going to share some technologies which you can use in making your studies simpler. So quickly, I would invite all our speakers on the screen. Let's start with our very own Tithi ma'am. Hello, ma'am, and good evening.
Namaste, sir. Namaste, everyone. How are you all doing? Thank you for having me here, sir. It's great to be part of this kind of a webinar.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining. Next, we have Shamrita, ma'am. And Shamrita, ma'am, how are you? Thank you so much for joining.
Hello, sir. Good evening, and good evening to all my students out there. So I hope all of you are studying well. Don't take stress, because here we are to help you in coping up with all your revision. Stay tuned with us.
That's right. So we are going to have an amazing session today. And now we are joined with Nupur ma'am. Hi, ma'am. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening, sir. Hello, everyone, all the students, and welcome to today's session. So hope you have a productive session and take away a lot of important points from today's session.
Wonderful. Thank you, ma'am. Now we have Violet ma'am right here. Hello, Violet ma'am. Good evening. Can you hear us?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Good evening to all the students present over here. I'm really happy and elated that we have gathered over here to take away some very important points that are needed to taken down, and definitely we are going to discuss more on this. So stay tuned, all of you. Thank you, sir.
Wonderful. Thank you, ma'am. And now we have Farhan Zamir, sir. Good evening, sir. How are you? Namaskar.
Sir, namaskar, sir. Very, very good evening, everybody. So it's always a delight to be with this particular panel, sir. And thank you for the opportunity. And, this gives you a larger horizon so that we can talk to many of the students and get connected directly and solve their real-time problems, sir. So thank you for this opportunity, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining. Our other faculties are on their way. They are reaching the studio and they'll be joining us soon. In the meanwhile, let's get started with today's session. So I have a couple of pointers for all of you. And let me start by saying that success does not demand stress. Success does not demand stress. Can you guys quickly type down in the chat box? Success does not demand stress. What does it demand? It demands strategy. It demands technology and it demands smart efforts, right? So all of you in the chat box quickly type down success does not demand stress, because I know all of you are stressed right now. All of you are worried, tension. All that is going to evaporate in today's session, all right? So now let us talk about some facts which we cannot deny, okay? Now here are a few facts which we cannot deny, as you can see on the screen here right now, okay? The first fact is there are 60 days in your CSIR NET exam. Can we deny that? No, we cannot deny that. Wonderful. So we have Varsha, who has written for the first time, success does not demand stress. So you will get a special surprise gift, Varsha. Whoever comments first will win a surprise gift. So you have to be really excited and keep typing down. Whoever writes first comment will get, okay? Whatever I say, you have to repeat. So success does not demand stress. Varsha has written, so she will win a special gift. Now let's come back to today's session. We cannot deny this fact that 60 days are left in the session. Now, 80,000 students are going to write this exam. 80,000. 150 plus topics, that's the battle. You have only one weapon, and that is your brain. But hey, your brain is taking all the stress right now, is not oriented in the right direction, and that is where this session is going to be all about. You'll get 3 hours, we cannot deny that. 20 lakh fellowship is at stake. And that is why I'm saying more than 20 lakh, your future career direction is at stake. So I request all of you to please take today's session with special attention, okay? Success does not demand stress, and whoever comments first, whatever I say will win a surprise gift. So Varsha has won a surprise gift. You have to email me, Varsha, I'll give you the surprise gift, okay? Now, let us get started by inviting our speakers who will share their insights on what exactly is the needs there. In the meanwhile, we have Neha ma'am who has also joined in. So I'll be adding her also onto the screen shortly. Let's start with Tithi ma'am. Ma'am, if you could throw some light on how exactly our students should study genetics, evolutionary biology, and others overall strategy, if you could highlight, ma'am. Over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. So the first thing that I would like to tell all the students that calm down, no need to panic. Like suddenly people have started panicking and they have pressed the panic button. So you just have to push it down and don't panic. Take a deep breath. You still have 60 days. It's a long time. When you are strategizing properly in this 60 days, you will be successful. Nothing to worry about. Okay. Now, once you have done that, now for genetics, I will say that definitely revision should be a major part of it. And apart from that, what you can do right now is practice the questions. Okay. So the numerical based questions, the topics from where the questions are often asked, like Mendelian genetics, something that you cannot escape. Then probability based questions, pedigree related questions where you have to do the analysis of the pedigree chart. Then mutation, which is turning into a very important topic nowadays. Like a lot of questions are coming and every session questions are coming. And obviously that is our own gene mapping is there, the genetic map, the physical maps are there, where a lot of questions, like every session's question do come from that. So that is something that you cannot forget, and you have to practice that. And they are actually the formulas are very simple, so it is the time to revise the formula and practice as many different types of questions. Okay, there's no need to practice 10 questions of the same type. That will not help you. That will be a waste of time. So practice different sort of questions. So in which maybe in one question it has asked you to calculate the gene distance. In one question it has asked you to calculate interference. In one question it has asked you to calculate the number of double crossovers. So try different kind of questions. And for evolutionary biology, I will say that the most important topic is definitely the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium is there. Lot of numericals for sure. Part C, it definitely comes from Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. So you have to do that. Apart from that, the the parental investments, the child care and all those things, like which one, the male will take more care, female will take more care, what are the factors that decides the parental care, that is one thing. And definitely the evolutionary time zone. So that this evolutionary time zone, like you can see that there are, it is a place where you cannot apply logic. It is something that you have to completely memorize. So I will suggest that go for mnemonics, take help of the mnemonics, which will help you in remembering the things better, faster, and in the accurate manner. Okay. and and also from genetics, do not forget the molecular markers types of questions, because in molecular markers you should know how to read a graph. You should know how to read the DNA bands that come up in the gel, because that is very important, and lot of questions come. So and it will be a merge of questions from techniques and genetics. So you can say unit 8 plus unit 13, that kind of combined questions. Lot of questions every session are coming nowadays, where you have to analyze those kind of the bands, the gel patterns. Okay. And you have to understand what kind of what is the information they are trying to give. So those kind of questions, something that you cannot skip, and you have to practice more of that.
Right.
And as I said that like calm down, take care of your health also, that is very very important. Take proper sleep. The summer is starting in most of the parts of India, so drink enough water, make sure you're properly hydrated. So you are studying, that is fine, but health is something that you cannot ignore. So do take care of yourself as well. So thank you, sir,
Wonderful.
for
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. And that was really insightful. Now, like ma'am said, stay hydrated with two things, H2O and motivation. Water and motivation is going to take you towards your destination. Now, destination is the real motivation. Isn't that right, guys? Definitely, destination is the motivation. So, everybody in the chat box, quickly type down destination is the motivation. Whoever types down first wins a surprise gift. Let's see who types first. Destination is the motivation. In the meanwhile, let me bring up Neha ma'am. She has just joined. So welcome ma'am to the session. If you would like to add some thoughts on biochemistry and overall student preparation, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Shekhar sir. Good evening, everyone. Hope everybody is enjoying the session. And really, I heard Tithi ma'am's explanation. It was really very much insightful. So, yes, biochemistry, it's a very basic subject. And as I've already said, and keeps on saying that it is one of the core subjects. If you are not aware of, then certainly it will be difficult for you to understand other things, right? So it's like the alphabet of your English. Um, and in biochemistry, what you can do is you can prepare some charts, uh, handouts. These are very helpful, and our Conceptica is there, and the mini Conceptica is there, and there are a lot of other stuff also available with us, which will actually help you gear up your preparation for biochemistry, whether it is CSIR or GATE or DBT or any examination you are aiming for. So initially, that is what you have to look at. So basically, I'll divide biochemistry into three major areas. One is your biomolecules, another one is the metabolism related with those biomolecules, and the third one is your principles of biophysical chemistry, right? So principles of biophysical chemistry is nothing but the basis. It stands as the basic point for understanding a little bit of immunology, then cell biology and other stuff also, right? So you need to know your buffer, you need to know your pH, you need to understand the colligative properties and other stuff, right? And then comes the biological molecules. The amino acids forms the amino acid actually takes the lead, and it's one of the most important part of your biochemistry. You need to know that. And the DNA and RNA, the molecules, the nucleotides and the nucleosides, you will be studying that in more detail in molecular biology. But yes, still, biochemistry also you can try and understand. And Leringer has got very good explanation of that. Even you can learn, if you are fresher in molecular biology, you can learn molecular biology. I mean, the metabolism in DNA from Leninger. It's very nice given over there. And then the third part, apart from biomolecules, the third part, as I said, that's the metabolism. Metabolism involves all the flow charts related with the catabolism of different biological molecules and the energy giving processes, and the anabolic processes wherein big macromolecules are produced. So these three things you have to look at, and that's how you can prepare your biochemistry. Over to you, Shekhar sir.
Wonderful, wonderful, ma'am. Thank you so much. And students, as you can see, she is my guru, she is my mentor, and she has trained me. And you can see the calmness and the way she talks. It's so soothing. The way she teaches, it's amazing. You guys should really learn from her. She's my guru, and she's really brilliant. Okay, so now, guys, I'm going to show you a creative on the screen. Can you guys see that? I'm sure you must have seen it. So what exactly you guys have to do here? Now, don't be a rattu tota, okay? Don't be a mugging parrot. Instead, whatever you study, you have to study like a concept crane, right? It's not the time to be a parrot. Hunt concepts smart like a crane. So how do you do that, guys? You do that by doing this. I'm commenting here in the chat box. You have to repeat with me. Bako dhyanam, right? You have to do bako dhyanam. What is bako dhyanam? Concentrate like the crane, right? So the crane, now whoever types first Bako Dhyanam will win a surprise gift. Okay, let's see who types first. I will display that person. Concept crane. No, I didn't say that. You have to write Bako Dhyanam. Okay, Kirtana wins a surprise gift. You have to email me, Kirtana. So far, 3 people have won. Okay, Bako Dhyanam means बगुले की तरह आपको ध्यान रखना है, अपने फोकस को रखना है. You have to be focused on your concepts. You have to hunt the concepts like a crane, right? Bako dhyanam, right? That's a Sanskrit word. Okay, so I can see a lot of inquiries and a lot of comments are coming. Wonderful, wonderful, amazing. Really, I'm happy seeing all these comments. Right, guys. Now let's come back. So Kirtana, you have won the surprise gift. Now I'll pass on the mic, the controls to our very own Nupur ma'am, and she'll be talking in detail about the strategies which you have to follow in the next 60 days. Ma'am, over to you.
Yeah, so hello everyone. I'm Dr. Nupur Nagvekar and I take Unit 6, which is plant physiology. So for plant physiology, things are actually pretty simple compared to animal physiology. If you have a plant or a botany background, you've studied that in your lower classes or your lower bachelor's or master's, it becomes pretty easy for you. Even if you have not studied it, but you are interested, especially in the biotech part or the plant genetic engineering part, then having a background in plant physiology or understanding plant physiology is very helpful from that perspective. So in Unit 6, there are some set questions that come every year. Like there are some set topics which you cannot completely ignore. Like for example, photosynthesis. And in photosynthesis, every year there would be a question, say, on one of the pathways of C3, C2, C4, CAM. What happens to the food that is produced in the plant. So these are all set questions that come from the topic of photosynthesis. So photosynthesis from the exams point of view is a very, very important topic. Hardly any numericals come in Unit 6. So most of the questions are choice type, like 4 or 5 statements would be given and you have to choose a combination of the right or the wrong statements. Then apart from photosynthesis, there is the other important topics would be plant hormones. Now in plant hormones, it looks vast, but it's not as vast as the topics in animal physiology. So plant hormones, the auxins, gibberellin, cytokinins, abscisic acid, ethylene. And many of the questions that have come in the previous papers, they're focused on either the biosynthesis or the function of the hormone or the signaling part. So in the recent years, the focus has been more on the signaling of the hormone. So once it binds to the receptor, then what happens after that? So that story is the focus now. As well as a lot of focus has now come for sensory photobiology. For example, phytochromes, what happens to phytochromes, how they perceive light, how they change, how they bring about the response and the signaling of phytochromes. So that is now in focus. and stress biology. Okay, because that's important from the general current world perspective, right? Because climate change is happening, so plants are experiencing stress. So from the future perspective, from the overall world perspective also, stress physiology is getting importance, as well as from your exam perspective, that is your CSIR net. So these are some important topics in unit 6. The way to go about it, the way to prepare for it is like there's no shortcut. Okay, there's no shortcut to it. If you're interested in this topic, you have to sit with it, you have to go through the PPTs, you have to go through the videos, you have to go through the reference books, understand the concept, and it is a story. It's literally a story. It's not something, as sir said, you don't have to mug up anything. It's a nice little connected story which you understand, and then you should be able to very happily answer all the questions that come from unit 6, that is plant physiology. Yes, over to you, sir.
All right. Thank you so much, Nupur ma'am. That was really insightful. Now, students, as you heard, photosynthesis is important, right? So don't skip photosynthesis, but also don't skip this part, okay? Now I'm going to show you something on your screen, and that comes now. Let me just pull me into the, yeah, now you can see, I hope. Now, everybody, as you can see on the screen, what do you see on the screen? You have a formula which was shared in the morning. The formula is 50, 30, 20. Whoever types first in the chat box 50, 30, 20 will get a surprise gift. Okay, so quickly, guys, whoever types 50, 30, 20. Okay, and this is equally applicable for all of you. 50, 30, 20. Yes, okay. The first one is Shubhasri. She has written, so you will get a surprise gift, Shubhasri. And now, as you can see on the screen, guys, what exactly is this formula? So you have to spend 50% of the day in doing all this. Revising previous year question papers, practicing question papers, mock test papers, AIMNet test series, which is there, and also various other test series which you can grab on to, but always make sure that you are avoiding negative marking. Now, there are two traps you will find in your paper. One will be time traps, one will be difficulty traps. Paper setters put all this in your paper, right? So you have to avoid that. Then 30% on revision, 20% on new topics, right? But don't stress on new topics too much, otherwise you'll get confused. Now, in the meanwhile, I believe I can bring up somebody who will give you some amazing insights on strategy, and that will be our very own Farhan Zamir sir. Sir, over to you if you would like to add some strategic words for our students.
Sure, sir. In fact, sir, if I think as a student, and when I started my preparation, because now looking into the entire scenario from the other side makes a difference. So let me try to give them real time, solutions so that they can actually plan well. Because planning and strategizing your entire 60 days, and sir, now normally I don't call it as 60 days, because in that 60 days there are 60 nights also. So when I say 60 nights, so I would actually cut down into actual 30 days when I remove the night component. But it doesn't mean that I'm not trying to tell you that do not sleep. Having a sound sleep of 8 hours is a must, sir. So normally when we sleep, especially when we have a deep sleep and the regular pattern, at that point of time there is something which is called as catch memory, and whatever we study normally gets revised at that point of time and also gets embossed. Now, many a times you will feel that you are sleeping, but on the way you are also revising. Okay, so your dreams would be something related to your own, CSIR questions. So calm down. First thing is calm down, and second thing is make sure you make a proper plan. Now, when you make a proper plan, do not go for studying new concepts, because when you study very new concepts and because you're under stress, again I tell you, my dear friends, because stress are of two types. One is healthy stress and the other one is unhealthy stress. So having a healthy stress will actually keeps you motivated. So always have that healthy stress. Only when you have this healthy stress, it will drive you towards your motivation, and that is what Shekhar sir was trying to talk about. It will drive you towards your destination. So make sure you have that healthy stress. Do not go on a cool zone saying that I have studied everything, then I can just take rest. this would be, again, you might be reminded of your tortoise and the hare story, wherein, initial all 7 months or 8 months, you would have put up a lot of effort. Now you are very close to the finish line. Continue the effort. Okay, don't just relax at this point of time, because every minute in the last 30 days, okay, makes a huge difference. And trust me, my dear friends, all this, whatever you revise, not study, whatever you revise, it will actually get embossed in your catch memory, and automatically when you actually read a question, okay, automatically the answer comes up. So this is one. Sir, the other thing what I have experienced with many of the CSIR students, what we do is, normally, as they prepare, especially in the component number C, okay, they prepare long questions. So long questions are many a times they are like bhadkau fight. So that will make sure you get the concept lost during the reading component. So please make sure you have 100% concentration when you are reading the question. Okay, so be calm when you are reading the question, because only when you read the question very thoroughly, you will be able to answer. Now, sir, the other trick what I follow is, once I read the question, I would start with my answer. I would never go and read the 4 options, because when I read the 4 options, my brain will tell that all the 4 are right or all the 4 are wrong. So rather than that, first you read the question and decide on the answer. Imagine that there is no multiple choice, there is no MCQ. Decide on your answer and just try whether your answer is in that for in multiple choice A, B, and C and D. Okay, now if there is exact match, then just that's a eureka moment. But if there is not an exact match, it makes very important. It makes logic, so that can I connect most of the component in from the question to the answer, which will actually give a meaningful end. So this actually plays a very important role, that reading question and understanding your answer, and then rather than just directly going into ABCD, just understand and decide on your answer, and then search for that answer into your multiple choice. That would be an other easiest task, sir. The same is the strategy for most of the competitive exams. So that's one component. Now I will also give you another. So this is not a mandate, but this is with my experience what I'm trying to tell you. Now I am sitting at one point of time, nothing comes, ABCD, I see ABCD, and I have to attempt it, and none of the things are actually I am able to recall. Normally the longest answer would be, you need to pay attention to the longest answer. So normally what we do is, in a longest answer, most of the times it is like 50-50, not always, but in most of the cases, if you look into the last 10 years question paper, the longest answer, normally it would be either in C or D option. The longest answer would have at least 50% of chances to get it right. But don't trust it directly or blindly, but make sure you read and connect it to the question, and that is how you are able to understand or answer it. Okay, so but this is a gamble. Depending on the understanding, you need to actually take it up. But many a times this gamble will actually be worth it, sir.
Right. That was really wonderful tips, sir. Thank you so much. So now, students, as you can see, sir has given you some amazing insights on how to connect and study and how not to get overwhelmed. Now is the time for a small contest. Okay, so I'm going to show you something on the screen. Quickly, you have to type, right? Whatever I say, you have to type. So here is 1 second. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to show you something on the screen. I hope you can see that now. This is your future. As you can see here, this is your future as a scientist, but we will have to fight. So fight is my right. Everybody type in the chat box, fight is my right. Whoever types first will win. Fight is my right. Everybody in the chat box, quickly type down. Fight, or just fight. If you type just fight, that's also fine. Fight, okay, fight, yes. So let's see who has fight is my right. Okay, Jai Shri has won, right? So Jai Shri, we'll fight together, right? And you are winning a surprise gift from my side. All you have to do is drop me a mail at the end of the session and I'll give you a surprise gift, right? And now all the students who are attending till the end are also going to get a surprise gift. So it's not just people who are participating. Of course, they'll get a different surprise gift, but yeah, all the people who are attending till the end are also going to get, right? So we will have to fight for our right, guys, okay? CSIR NET is our right and we must fight for it. We must get it. Now, as we can see here, our very own Shamrita ma'am is here, and she will now throw some insights on amazing ways of studying. Over to you, ma'am, if you could show some insights. So plant
Yes,
BT
thank
and
you, sir.
genetics.
Thank you, sir. I will not say much about your genetics and evolution because that is what Titi ma'am has covered beautifully. Regarding
Yeah.
plant biotech and animal biotech, that comes under your unit 12. That part, if you haven't studied yet, I will say you can keep it till the last also because that part is very easy. You just have to read it once and you will understand the concept. Okay, it's very easy. And if you look from the question point of view, hardly get one question from it. Okay, one or two question at the most. So if you wish to skip that, you can skip it. In fact, the students, so many a times they think that they only have to study all the units to crack CSIR NET, but that is not the case. There are some
Right.
important units which we always stress upon. Like I will say it here also, unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, 4. Then there is plant physiology or animal physiology can take up. Unit 8, unit 10, unit 11. These are very, very important topics. And of course, 13 also. So if you are preparing some units out of these, okay, at least 80% of the units or 70% of the total syllabus, and you are confident that you can answer any kind of question which is asked from this part, then you can get the score. You can crack this exam. You don't have to worry about the completion of the entire syllabus. That's really not required. Now here, how will you know that you can answer all the questions? Most of the time the students, they always go by the 10 years question paper. That is not sufficient. All right, because if you observe the question pattern, it is changing day by day. It is really judging on your understanding. It's really judging on your understanding. So you have to develop that part to understand the concept, to analyze what is given, the scenario that is given in the question, and answer it. Like how Farhan Samin sir has said very clearly, that you have to build the power to understand. So in that case, just don't rely on the MCQ questions, the previous year's questions and all. Go to the back end questions of your chapters as well. Trust me, if you just go through the objective questions over there, you will see they are very good questions. And many a times to answer those questions, you have to turn the page and go into the chapter once again to understand where the question has been asked from. In that way, what is happening? You're not only revising, because when you're searching for an answer, it automatically gets to revision. Okay. Though, yeah, there are some shortcuts like there can be the keynotes, there can be the diagrams. Okay. With that shortcuts, you can directly go to the page where you can find the answer, some related words you can search for. But in that way, you can also judge how much you have a strong grip on it. So when you're revising, do go through the back-end questions also, because that will help you to build your concept. So I will conclude in this much.
All right. Thank you so much, Amrita ma'am. That was really amazing, brilliant insights once again. So now, students, as you can see, all our experts are sharing some amazing insights, but it's all about implementation. If you can't implement it, the best of the strategies also will go in the dustbin, right? So all you have to do is whatever our experts are telling you, make a note of it and divide all that into action steps, okay? And then implement it. Implementation is winning, okay? Implementation is equal to win. So all of you in the chat box, type down implementation is equal to win, okay? And the spelling must be correct. Whoever writes first will win, okay? So implementation is winning, okay? Implementation is equal to winning, right? So whatever strategies we are giving, it's of no use if spelling should be right, guys. Implementation is winning, okay? Otherwise, I'll not give the surprise. So spelling is a must, okay? All right, so I think Meghna Menon has won a surprise gift. Meghna, congratulations. Drop me a mail after this session and I'll give you a surprise gift. What is a surprise gift? That's a secret. You'll get it in email, okay? So amazing insights there by Shamrita ma'am. And now, as you can see, guys, we have so many experts and we have so less time and we have to take quick Q&A also. So we'll not waste much of our time. Quickly, we'll jump into our special expert who has just finished our CRISPR bioinformatics internship and now she joined. That's why she got late. And that is our Tanushree ma'am. Welcome, ma'am, and over to you. Please start guiding the students.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, respected teachers and all the participants. So for Unit 13, specifically, I would like to provide 60 days strategy, like how you
Great.
can revise effectively in these 60 days. So basically, I would suggest that, I can understand that Unit 13 is very vast and most of you really find it really difficult. Like, I'm sure most of you are not even have covered the entire Unit 13 topics. So don't worry, emphasize on the important topics. What are these important topics from Unit 13? Like that is methods in biology. You can go for specifically DNA manipulating and modifying enzymes, restriction digestion, and vectors. Then don't forget to study UV visible spectroscopy, mass spectrometry. Then flow cytometry is very important. Then you should also study half life, radioisotopes, radioactive decay, and also need to be familiar with the microscopic basic terms like magnification, resolution, Ernst-Tab equation, and also principle and application of light and electron microscopy. Why I am specifically telling you these topics? Because in the exam from Unit 13, not only direct questions have been asked from these topics, but even combined questions are asked from like combining a topic from Unit 13 and topic from another units as well. So at least emphasize when you have less time, at least emphasize on important topics, which I have just mentioned. Second point is revise the formulas. Okay, emphasize on revising the formulas. What all the formulas you have to revise? Like you have to revise Beer-Lambert's law. You have to revise the chi-square test formula, Poisson distribution formula that you find in statistics, right? Then also don't forget to revise Ernst-Tab equation. You should know what is D, what is lambda, okay, what is numerical aperture. So these are some of the, then restriction digestion also formula, like when the restriction digestion is applied to linear DNA or circular DNA, that also you have to keep in mind. And probability of finding a restriction site in the genome also you have to remember. Then emphasize, like when you are studying, it's not that you have to read the books, just revise using the flow charts, the mind maps, the comparative tables. We have already in Biotecnika have made such kind of mind maps for your quick revision and flow charts, Conceptica for your quick revision, so make sure you use them. And also practice as many questions as you can, give the mock tests, right? And this is what I would like to suggest. So all the very best. Over to you, sir, now.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. That was really insightful once again. So students, as you can see, there are multiple ways of doing things, but the one way which suits you, you have to adopt, right? So that's one keyword which I would like to highlight here. Now, in the meanwhile, I wanted to let you know that, I hope you remember Hema, Rekha, Jaya, and Shushma have joined Biotecnika. But have you joined? If you have not joined, Sabki Pasand Biotecnika, please join Biotechnika's fast track revision batch. This batch has just started a day ago, like on 4th, and a lot of students have joined. If you have not joined, then this is the time to join. Okay, so if you have not joined, please join very, very soon, because seats are going to get filled up. And now the keyword, everybody, it's very simple, but the spelling must be right. Everybody type in the chat box Biotecnika, spelling must be right, and you win a surprise gift. Okay. And yeah, I was also wondering how you guys type so fast. Biotecnika, the spelling is Biotecnika, and you win a surprise gift. Isn't that amazing? Come on, guys, let's compete. If we can't compete here, how will we compete there, right? Biotecnika. Okay. Oh my God, it's all full. So I think people already remember the spelling of Biotecnika. Wow. So here the clear winner is Shubhashri. Welcome. Congratulations, Shubhashri. Well done. That's a great achievement. And just drop me a mail and I'll hand over the surprise gift to you without wasting much time now. Let's jump in quickly back to our session. Now we have in line our very own Violet ma'am. Ma'am, over to you. If you could quickly throw some lights on the tips and tricks for everybody.
Thank you, sir. So first, I would like to say, just in the 60 days, as students, they have to really work hard. They know they have to do smart work. But along with it,
Ji.
what I would say is they should also have the confidence. So where the
Right.
confidence lies is, no, whatever you have studied, remember that That is from where the questions will be asked. Don't think, or like I can see in the chats, students are asking, should we study something new? So don't go for it. Just whatever you have studied, whatever that your teachers, your guides have told you that these are the important topics. So just go for that. Remember that whatever you have studied is from where the questions will be asked. So that is one key point that I would suggest all the students to remember. And moving ahead with the topics, that is the subjects immunology and animal physiology. So animal physiology, I would say questions are really direct. Sometimes it happens that from the 4 part C questions, maybe 1 part C might be little difficult, but yes, you have the other the other 3 part C that will actually help you to become a JRF. It will help you to get that extra score. So go for the circulatory system, study the cardiac cycle, study ECG properly, from where the graph based questions are asked, which are very easy and direct. Study the saturation curve based questions, the oxygen saturation curve questions. And this is something that is you have to understand, as Farhan sir said, because if they change the parameters, so you should know how the curve will move. So that is something that you need to understand. And if you understand, it becomes very easy. You can score well. Then moving ahead to the next topic that is important for Unit 7, Animal Physiology, is excretory system. Know the structure of nephrons, know the each and every, know the function that is associated with different parts of the nephron. And you will see that in previous year, they have asked even direct match the following type of questions from here. So it's like, it is all on you. If you remember, if you study properly, it is very easy to score over here. Then next is the nervous system. Definitely it is important. It is something that from where tricky questions are asked, because you need to know how the sodium channels work, how the potassium channels work, when depolarization occurs, when repolarization occurs. So this is something that you have to really understand. And you have to study this action potential part very thoroughly. Then further moving ahead, what is important is next is endocrinology and reproduction. These are very important topics where definitely questions are asked. And sometimes it is, if you are lucky enough, you will get match the following type of questions, or it might be statement based questions. But yes, if you have studied, it won't be that difficult. And then coming to immunology, as I have said before also in the sessions, immunology is something that you cannot no, you cannot do any cut short over here. You have to study each and every topic, and definitely questions are asked from even the terms like haptens, what is antigenicity, what is immunogenicity. If you know these terms, only then you can solve those questions, because the terms are simple and they'll ask you a graph based question just from the terms, because they'll show the release of antibodies. So you should know whether haptens will release the antibody or whether it will not release. So it is something that you have to understand. And yes, immunology, after that you have to study MHC, you have to study the presentation part of the antigens, then you have to study the different cytokines, hypersensitivity, then complement system. So these are some of the important topics that you should not skip. And that's all I would suggest from my side. Thank you, sir. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Violet ma'am. Wonderful insights over there. Now, students, I have some announcement for all of you. Okay. We have analyzed and realized that you need more hand-holding than ever in the next 60 days. So we have decided to launch a new podcast for all of you. Okay. Every day in the evening. Okay. We'll try it every day. Otherwise, at least whatever possible days, we will be coming up with success podcast. We are starting from today. And this podcast, okay, so the name is Success Podcast. Every day in the evening, you will get it in Telegram group or the WhatsApp group if you're a part of. And if you're not a part of these groups, please join there, because you get a lot of opportunities, a lot of insights, and a lot of trends, knowledge, applied knowledge in these groups. So that's the URL for Telegram. We're starting with Success Podcast. The first episode will be launched today. And we are going to give you some amazing insights on what to study, how to study, when to study, what to skip, and of course, a lot of motivation from my side. Okay, that's a free gift for everybody who is a subscriber of Biotecnika. Now, there is a question by some people about group study. Yes, we will definitely consider that request and we'll come back to you very, very soon for that as well. But in the meanwhile, I have another very important surprise for all of you. Now, whoever attended this session till the end and fills the feedback form will win a surprise gift. So even though you could not type fast, like some people were saying, sir, I could not type fast. So no worries, you'll still get a different surprise gift. These guys will get a different surprise gift. But yeah, that's the plan, guys. I want to reward each person here because each person is special. Each student is special. Each student is unique in his or her own ways. And I firmly believe that our experts can do the magic, right? So you met 7 of our experts, and now is the time for Q&A. Start asking questions, whatever is in your mind, and our experts will start taking up one by one. Okay, so everybody, whatever is your question, please ask right here in the chat box, and our teachers will start answering them one by one. Okay, over to you, students. This is the start of success, where you start asking questions, right? Everybody, quickly jump in, type in whatever is your question. Our experts are right here to answer it, right? So what are you waiting for? Success is just one question away. Ask your questions, right? In the meanwhile, I wanted to highlight that if you don't have a question, you can at least write this line and win a surprise gift still, and that is, doubts are snakes. DOUBTS, doubts are snakes. So don't keep it, right? Ask your questions, right? Doubts are snakes. If you can write this, okay, you'll win a surprise gift. In the meanwhile, type down your question. Where can I find the link for podcast? Prakriti, today wait till 8:30, you'll get it, okay? Wait till 8:30, today you'll get it. A lot of hydration, a lot of motivation, a lot of ideas, okay? All right, so quickly start typing down your questions. I'm still waiting for your questions. Doubts are snakes, okay. People type that first because that's more important. Surprise gift, right? Okay, so Veena Karnam, you win, right? Yeah, that's you first. You were the first, right? So you win. Okay, drop me a mail. I'll give you a surprise gift. Now we have a first question coming in from Srividya. Ma'am, can you suggest one book for biochemistry that covers maximum topic? Over to you guys. Please, somebody can answer that question. Yeah, Neha ma'am, would you like to answer that? Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. Srividya, biochemistry, lineage is the Bible. That is what we consider. So that's one book you must refer, apart from the lecture videos which we have and the short notes which we have. So that is more than sufficient, right?
Right.
And earlier also I have mentioned that please watch lecture videos first, followed by the reference book, and that will help you in grabbing more information, retaining more information, and that will give you a practical aspect which will help you solve numerical questions. So do it that way. Over to you, Shekhar.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. So there's a question by Sujit. I just now came across the term JRF and I just started preparing. Is it possible to crack JRF exam? Success is not instant, Sujit. Success requires sweat equity. Success requires strategy equity, and success requires technology equity. If you're just getting started, drop me a mail. I'll guide you. You need guidance. That's all. That's your answer. Okay. So next question is from, okay, there are a lot of snakes comments in the chat box. I'm just shuffling through. There's a question from Kanishka. I'm facing problems of notes making as it takes a lot of time. I won't be able to revise thoroughly. Please share some tips. Over to you, experts. Whoever wants to answer. Anybody? Yeah, Titi ma'am, please go ahead.
Yeah, so Kanishka, your problem is, I can really understand it because in my student life, I also face the same problem. So what I will suggest is take running notes in the class. That's what I used to do. Okay, so that is very important because most of the time we show the PPT, so but the PPT does not have everything. The teacher is also adding his or her experience to that to explain the topic in a way, in a more laymanish way that is more grabbable to you. So make running notes in the class and then revise that only. Okay, so you don't have to sit at a separate time with 3 or 10 different standard books to make a note. That will be a waste of time, and you will have to shuffle through hundreds of pages to make two page of worthful note. So that is one thing. Try to make running notes in the class, and of course you can take help from Biotechnika's concept notes that we all faculties have made for you all, and you can take help from there, and you will get all the precise things in the most crisp and colorful manner and fun manner in that. So please take help of the concept notes that we have.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am. I hope that answers your question, Kanishka. Next shooting is from Anupam, and he says, should we study new topics or practice questions? Over to you, experts. Yeah. Tanushree, ma'am, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Anupam, for asking a good question. I think this is the problem of most of the students. They might be like into the dilemma, like whether they should keep on revising the older topics or should start something new or emphasize on practicing questions. Anupam, it's always better to practice questions because at the end, when you practice questions, you are following the active recall method, right? When you see the question, you recall what concept that question is based on. So very one advantage of that is you are active recalling, right, the concepts, right, and your concepts will be better, will be more clear, right? And why it is not advisable to take any new topic, because when you take up any new topic, you get up you get confused, right? It's better whatever topics we have done so far, just revise them and practice questions based on them. So that is what I would like to suggest.
All right. I hope that answers. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Next question is from Aishwarya. Sir, if we study unit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, is this units enough? Over to you, strategists. Anybody would like to answer? Yeah, I think Neha ma'am's mic is mute. After that, I'll give you a chance, Violet ma'am. Yeah, Neha ma'am, over to you.
That is more than sufficient, basically, the units which you have selected. And also, if you are good in, say, animal physiology, then you can always add unit 7. Otherwise, these units are more than sufficient. But do add unit number 13, because there are certain questions which are very basic and direct, and you'll be able to answer them in part B, right? And in part C as well.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, Violet ma'am, please.
Yes, sir. So as ma'am already mentioned.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just you can follow these units, no issues. But just that remember that whatever you are studying, whichever unit you have selected, so study thoroughly, completely. So don't miss any part from that. So that is what I would like to add over here. Thank you.
All right. The next question which comes up is from Prachi, and she asks, please suggest in the reference book to practice sums in genetics. I think Titi ma'am can answer that.
Yeah. So, Prachi, there are very good standard books that you can follow. There is iGenetics by T. Russell. There is a Principle of Genetics by Pierce. There is a Principle of Concepts of Genetics by Klug and Cummings. There is the Principles of Genetics by Nustad and Nustad, Simons, and Gardner. So, all of these books are excellent. So prefer whichever book you are comfortable with. The language you should be comfortable with. Like personally, my favorite is iGenetics, because that the language is so easy to understand. The examples that are given there are so well described. So take any book which is you are comfortable with the language, and every book, all of these books, after the topics, they have set of questions. Okay, and not only questions, they also give the solutions also at the back of the book. So you can take help of the solutions in case you are not able to understand the question, or you want to check whether the numerical you have solved it correctly or not. So please take care or take help of the standard books. And also I will suggest that, I think I have said it previously as well, that there are many foreign university assignment papers which are available for free in Google. Just type your topic, look for analytical questions, those assignment papers will come up, and you can definitely take help of that. And actually you will get very good experience in solving those analytical questions. And CSIR papers, they actually ask those kind of questions only. Maybe little bit data only is different, little bit how you understand or how you apply that concept will be different, but the same process of analysis you have to go through. So those questions are excellent for your practice.
Wonderful, wonderful insights there, ma'am. Thank you so much. Next question quickly is from Kirtana. Her question is, should I prepare first and solve question later, or should I solve question first and prepare later? Over to you, experts. Anybody would like to answer that? Okay, I think Farhan Zamir sir, please go ahead.
Sir, it's always, it's like, you're going for a battle, and before you go for a battle, you need to sharpen your sword. Okay, so in the battleground, I cannot waste time, sharpening my sword. I would always recommend students to prepare first and then attempt for the questions so that they know what level is their understanding. Otherwise, again come back, prepare well, again try to answer questions, sir. Because there are many students who will look into the pattern of question paper or pattern of questions and then they go back and study. This formula will not work, sir.
Right. So I hope that
And
answers your question.
many a times, common sense is a very important component, sir. Rather than science, it is common sense which has to be used.
Yeah, because that's what they are trying to tame in the exam. Very true. I completely agree. So Prachi, you asked the question 3 times, but we have answered that. So there is a question from Srishti. One book that covers genetics and malware. Who would like to take that? Yeah, Stiti ma'am.
There is iGenetics that I was saying about from Russell. So it has part of molecular biology and genetics. It covers completely in detail, thoroughly. Molecular biology is there, like you have gene regulation there, you have transcription, translation, replication, everything is there. But I am not sure that the depth is not that much, which is required for CSI level. Okay, so
Right.
you can get an overview of those topics from that book, but for the CSI level you need to go a little bit more deeper, and there Leninger comes in the play. So Leninger, or if you want more deeper knowledge in molecular biology, you have to refer to Watson. So this books will give you overview.
Right. So I hope that answers your question. We are running out of time, so quickly we'll take up the next question. Shubhashri says that she wants 4 units for June because she's actually writing December. So tell me 4 units which I should cover for June. Anybody would like to take up that question? Yeah. Okay. Anyone would like to take up that question? All right. What I can suggest is, Violet ma'am, please go ahead.
Though I would say four units is not sufficient, but still, if you are insisting and you don't have time, you can go for unit 1, unit 2, unit 4, and unit 13. That is what I would suggest, because 13
Okay.
and 2 they club questions and they ask, so it will be little bit helpful, I guess.
Yeah, Neha ma'am, you were saying something?
Same what Violet was suggesting. So unit 1, 2, 3, and 13. Yes.
Okay. So you got your answer there, Shubhashri. All right. Last question, last minute. Prakriti, what are the important topics in unit 1 and 2? Anybody would like to answer that?
Yeah, we cannot say which all are the very important kind of, but yes, I'll brief you over there. So in unit 1, you have amino acids and proteins, then you have pH buffer, colligative properties, and then comes your enzymes. So you get direct questions from these topics. Apart from that, some here and there questions you will get from nucleotides and nucleosides, which you will be covering up in either in unit 2 or unit 3. Now, coming to unit 2, your cell organelles are very important. Basically, you get direct questions from there in part C as well, right? You need not apply a lot of reasoning over there in order to answer those questions. Just direct concept-based questions are asked in section C or part C of your CSI paper. So you can go through all the cell organelles and your nucleotides or the nucleic acids, the DNA and the RNA. That's it.
Right.
So these are
So
from
I
unit
think
1 and 2. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, ma'am. I think we have done a series called as What to How to series, which answers all these questions. You can refer to that. If you email me, I'll share all that to you. Now, students, we have run out of time, but we have questions. But does that mean we will run away from questions? No, doubts are snakes. So here is my email ID. Whatever is your doubt, email me, and we, our experts, team of experts, will guide you. That's a guarantee. The next 60 days are going to be the best days of your life, and they are going to be the biggest achievement of your life. All you have to do is be ready for fight, make a plan and take action steps. As simple as that. Go slow, no problem, but keep moving forward. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, crawl. If you can't crawl, at least pick the book. Okay. So here's my email ID, guys. All you have to do is drop me a mail if you have any questions. I will fast forward it to our experts and they will answer them. Right now, in the meanwhile, now is the time for our feedback form, which I'm going to share in the chat box right now as I am typing, right? Whoever will fill this form will instantly, like Maggie, instantly you will get some free sample papers, free notes, and a lot of samples of mind maps and flow charts and everything. So all you have to do is fill this feedback form. That's the first step. And the next step is, if you have not joined the fast track revision batch, we are closing admissions. Okay, I'm really serious about it. We're closing admissions. If you have not taken the admission, please do that fast, because this is the last chance. And if you have questions about fast track revision batch, or for that matter, revision in particular, go ahead, shoot me a question, because I won't disappoint you. Our team of experts won't disappoint you. Each student sitting out there is a future Nobel Prize winner, but he or she needs the right architect. You are seeing all those architects right now on your screen, and many more who are right now busy taking classes. But my question to you is, are you ready? Are you ready to take on the fight? If the answer is yes, then go ahead and win the world. We are with you. We are going to make sure that you win. So, soldier, get up, pick your weapon, and fight. We are there to support you at every step. And don't forget to join our Telegram group or WhatsApp group, because we are coming up with the Success Podcast starting from today. So it's my promise. Every day for the next 60 days, I'll be in touch with you to make sure you are bright and shining, ready for the fight, because 80,000 soldiers versus you, and I want you to win. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much, experts, for joining us today in this wonderful, insightful session. It was really enjoyable, and I would like to personally thank Neha ma'am, Violet ma'am, Farhan Zamir sir, Shamrita ma'am, Nupur ma'am, Tanishri ma'am, and Tithi ma'am, and all those experts who could not join because of their busy schedule. I want to thank all the audience for wonderful questions. See you soon in the next video, next live stream. Till then, take care. Good night. Bye-bye.